So you said wisdom is universal.
Yeah.
What about wealth and power?
Yeah. I guess it depends on what you mean by power. So I think of power as the ability to influence.
A large number of people.
Yeah. So, and this is one of the interesting things about the fact that cash economies are evolutionarily very recent, in that people are like, so I guess recently, or it's about to happen, that Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter. Okay,
Yeah,
where they say,
happen.
has it happened already?
Yeah.
Okay, so they say that like the wealthiest, or one of the wealthiest men on Earth, has now purchased the most influential media platform on Earth, and so obviously you or I couldn't compete with Elon Musk and for the purchase of Twitter, and so the fact that cash economies allow the stockpiling of unprecedented amounts of wealth produces these tremendous power differentials that didn't exist in over most of human evolutionary history.
So their wealth is power, but you can also be, power can be attained through other ways.
Yeah, but I would say that the interesting thing about wealth is that it's an infinitely fungible resource. So you can use it and translate it into many, many other things, like buying Twitter, or buying a big house, or even getting mates, or in artificial I don't know if you want to get into that at all, but they have these sex dolls, or virtual reality sex that some people are developing. If you have enough resources, you can purchase things like that. So you can translate wealth into a variety of other tangible things in ways that you couldn't ancestrally. So
That's one really powerful thing. But there is still power that's correlated but not intricately connected to wealth, which is like being leaders of nations. Like technically, the president of the United States' salary is not very high.
right.
Presidents, and then you go outside of that, and to the half of the world that's living under authoritarian regimes, you have dictators, and there's those are very powerful, usually men, and presumably there's some value there in the mating selection aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not by chance that most of them are men. And this is going to sound strange, and hopefully not offensive to people, but if you ask the question, why is it the case that men are in positions of power so much more so than women? Well, in part, it can be traced to women's mate preferences. So it's one of the sex differences that women have, over evolutionary time, preferred men who had power, status, resources, etc. And what that has done is it's created selection pressure on men to attach a high motivational priority to clawing their way up the status hierarchy. And studies of time allocation distribution show this, where men they're more willing to sacrifice their friends, their grandmother, their kin, or whatever, to claw their way up to the top of status hierarchies. Women, much less so. Women spend more effort maintaining relationships with their kin, with their friends, their friend networks, and so forth. And so, so in a way, so you could say not only are men in positions of power more than women, now you're blaming women for why they are. And it's not a matter of blame, but I think that what I just outlined is an essential part of the causal process, the coevolution of women's mate preferences with men's motivational priorities.